Hello, welcome to Children's Liturgy for the 4th Sunday of Easter. Now traditionally we give a name to this Sunday. Does anyone know what it is? That's a clue. And also if you look, there's some clues here as well. Have you worked it out yet? Yeah. This Sunday is called Good Shepherd Sunday, because we hear in the Gospel Jesus saying, I am the Good Shepherd. Now I wonder why Jesus would call himself the Good Shepherd. Have you got any ideas? Well, I've not seen many shepherds, but I did go online to Google it, and I found a picture, I found lots of pictures of shepherds and pictures of Jesus being the Good Shepherd. And in all the pictures, Jesus was carrying a sheep, either on his shoulder. This is we made the pose that Boris and we saw some pictures yesterday, and Jesus was carrying the sheep on his shoulder. And it made me think, why? Why is that the Good Shepherd? Why does Jesus say? And I thought about my nieces and nephews. Why do I carry them sometimes on my shoulder? Well, sometimes it's because there's lots of people here and there's loads of crowds, and I want to keep them safe. And so I lift them up and put them on my shoulder so I can keep them close to me and they don't get lost and they don't feel frightened. And of course, when they're on my shoulder, they get a great view and they can see everything. So sometimes maybe at a football match or at a concert or something, or they go on my shoulder so they can see what's happening. Or sometimes it's because they're really tired. We've gone on a long walk, and they just want to go on my shoulder because they just can't walk anymore. So, is that maybe why Jesus might say he's the Good Shepherd, do you think? That maybe he wants to pick us up so we can see things clearly, or he wants to keep us safe to him, close to him, safe, or maybe because he knows that sometimes we're too tired to do it in our own strength and we need him to carry us. But then I also thought about, I remember once I fell at school when I was in school, and I hurt myself, and my friends carried me to the office. They put one arm around each shoulder and they carried me because I couldn't walk because I'd hurt myself. And it's a bit like on a football match. Sometimes when the footballer's injured, the coach or his friends would help carry him off the pitch. So maybe Jesus says he's the Good Shepherd because he wants to help us when we're stuck or when we're in trouble or when we're injured in any way. So I think definitely he's the Good Shepherd because he cares for us, he wants to be close to us, and he will look after us when we can't do it ourselves. So it's good news. So let's listen to the Gospel where Jesus tells us he's the Good Shepherd and hear what he has to say. So should we sing our Jesus Love is Bubbling Over song, our Gospel song? Let's sing it nice and loud. Jesus' love is bubbling over. Jesus' love is bubbling over. Jesus' love is bubbling over. Alleluia. 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 And this week it's a reading from the Gospel according to, can you guess? John. Glory to you, O Lord. Your good news in my thoughts, on my lips. Your Gospel, your good news in my heart. Jesus said to his disciples, I tell you for certain that only thieves and robbers climb over the fence instead of going in through the gate to the sheep pen. But the gatekeeper opens the gate for the shepherd, and he freely goes in. The sheep know their shepherd's voice. He calls each of them by name and leads them out. And when he has led out all of his sheep, he walks in front of them, and they follow because they know his voice. The sheep will not follow strangers. They don't recognize a stranger's voice. They run away. A thief comes to only rob, kill, or destroy. I, the good shepherd, said Jesus, have come that you may have life and have it to the full. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Now, what was your favourite word or line in the gospel? Can you remember? My favourite bit was, the sheep know their shepherd's voice. He calls each of them by name and leads them out. I like to know, I think it's important to remember that Jesus knows each one of us by name. He knows us better than our mums know us, than our dads know us, than our friends know us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. It says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. That's what God says in the Bible. Before anyone knew you, I knew you. I called you to be mine. I called you by name. I have been really busy this week making sheep. You see them. Lots of different shapes, all different, and I know each one of them by name. So this is the first one I made. It's a traditional cotton wool and sheep. But then I wanted to be a bit more creative. So I made a prayer sheet. This sheep here, I've written on each bit of wool people that I want to pray for. So I'm praying for Matty, I'm praying for Owen, I'm praying for Edward, and then I put it up there and I stick it on there. And can you see? That's it. I've made lots of people that I'm praying for, my prayer sheep. I've been fixing my curtains this week, and so I thought, oh, actually, I might use that to make a sheep from there. You see, stuck it all up there. It's very creative, but there's never been a sheep made like that. And then I had a drink coaster made out of paper, so I thought I'll make a good sheep, and I used some matches to make its legs. I used a baby wipe. I thought, well, that's a good thing to make a sheep, so I made a baby white sheep there. And then I found some lace, and I've got a nice little girly sheep there, little princess sheep there with all the lace. Made a black sheep, bar black sheep. I made a space age sheep. Do you like that? I love my space age sheep, all shiny. I made a green sheep because I thought, why not? It's my sheep, I can make a green sheep. I made a soft one here out of felt. He's very soft. So they're all different and they're all loved. Now the thing is, you might look at my sheep and you might laugh and you might think, oh, they're a bit silly. But do you know what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't change how precious and how valuable they are to me because I made them. And it doesn't matter what anyone says about my sheep. I love my sheep. I took a lot of care and a lot of time. This is the one that took me the longest to make. That's a wax sheep, made it out of wax. That took a long time to make. So, your challenge for this week is to make a sheep. You can make more than one sheep if you want to. You can be like me and try different ways of making sheep. Or just make one sheep if you only want to make one. But definitely make one sheep. And you're going to pray with that sheep every day. I'm going to pray this week to the Good Shepherd. So in the morning, after you've made your sheep, you're going to think about one person that you want Jesus to look after in a special way that day. And you're just going to pray for them. So Monday morning, you might say, Dear Jesus, the Good Shepherd, I ask that you look after my dad today. You want to pray for your dad. And you just put him into the Good Shepherd's hands. You're asking Jesus to look after that person that day. And at the end of the day, you can say, thank you, Good Shepherd, for looking after my dad today. So pray in the morning and in the evening, asking God to look after, Jesus to look after. So every day it's a different person. One of those days you might want to pray for yourself. You might want to say, Jesus, Good Shepherd, look after me today and help me. And that's fine. Yes, definitely you can pray for yourself one day. But don't pray for yourself every day, because there's a lot of people to pray for, and we're going to spread our prayers around. Okay, so that's your challenge for this week. To make a sheep, any sheep you want, anyway. Make sure you've got your parents' permission before you make it, because you're not to use something like your dad might not like you using something like that unless he gives you permission, or your mum. So make your sheep, be as creative, have fun, be as imaginative. Send me pictures if you want to of the sheep. Love to see what you come up with. So we're going to finish with a song, and it's got sign language to it. It talks about the Good Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I'll not want. So join in with the sign language, and just know that he looks after us and he cares for his sheep.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still, still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. He guides my ways in righteousness, and he anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on his pure delights, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear the evil one, for you are with me, and your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know. And I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home, and I will trust, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. For your endless mercy, for your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home.
Okay, so thank you, and see you all soon. God bless. Have fun. Enjoy making your sheep.